Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now, Tyson Fury has responded to Deontay Wilder and his claims of conspiracy theories in that fight between them on February 22nd, 2020. Now, this is what Tyson Fury had to say in response to those claims. First of all, it was the suit. Then it was the trainer on our team, and then it was the referee against him. Then I had weights in my gloves. Now someone has spiked his water. It's one of those things, isn't it? I think he has lost his marbles. I'm not going to wait around forever. The original date was July 18th. That didn't happen because they had an injury, so I got put back 3 months to October. Then that didn't happen because they were trying to get a venue, and then there were 3 dates in December, 5th, 12th and 19th, which I agreed to all of them. Obviously, that didn't happen, so I'm not going to wait around forever. So there we go, that is what Tyson Fury has had to say in response to Deontay Wilder, and it is short and sweet. He believes that Wilder has lost his marbles with these conspiracy theories, because someone who has to go through the process of putting on their gloves, you would think they would understand that you cannot put something into those gloves because there are people watching you, even from the other team, because unless Jay Diaz was in on it, then how could Tyson Fury have done that? And the spiked water, the training situation, the referee, all of that. You know, I'm starting to wonder whether Deontay Wilder even believes it himself, or whether he's just using this to get his name back out there. I mean, it's worked, I guess, if that is what he is doing, because I just don't see how someone can be stupid enough to believe that A, their water was spiked, and to think that Tyson Fury would have been able to get something into his gloves, and all of the other conspiracy theories that Wilder fans have come up with, and now Deontay Wilder has assumed. Because ultimately it was the fans who were making these conspiracy theories. Wilder didn't make any apart from the costume. Then he was silent. Now all of a sudden, that he's lost the fight, he comes out and starts talking about the conspiracy theories being true, and he actually has video proof or whatever that video was supposed to be. But I am starting to wonder, beneath it all, does Deontay Wilder himself actually believe this? Because if he did, why did he not come out with it before? If he did, why has it taken him this long and to lose the fight with Tyson Fury for him to say anything? So, A, they're not true. I don't see how Tyson Fury can get weights into his gloves. I don't see why someone on his team would spike his water. It just doesn't make sense. And why does Deontay Wilder keep changing his story? Tyson Fury said it right there in what he was saying. First, it was the costume. Then it was the gloves, then it was a trainer. So Wilder has come up with so many different reasons as to why he lost this fight. Have you ever heard anything like this before? There was this reason, that reason, and all of what Deontay Wilder has said, all of what his fans have said also. You can see that he's just a child throwing his toys out of the pram because he's lost his first fight of his career, and clearly he is not taking it like a man. That is what these conspiracy theories demonstrate. But then again, does he even believe them? I don't believe so. I really don't. I don't think he believes it. I think that he needs to get his name back out there and he needs to make it seem like he still wants to fight Tyson Fury, because if he doesn't, where is he? He's in no man's land. He's a fighter who's coming off of a loss in a World Heavyweight Championship fight against Tyson Fury, and he has nowhere to go because he's just turned down the rematch to that fight. So where does he go now? Does he fight Andy Ruiz? No, he's not going to do that. Does he go and rematch Ortiz? Maybe, I don't know. But Deontay Wilder currently is in a position where he doesn't want to be, because at the moment he's going to have to take a big fight if he wants to get back to the big time. He's about 2 years away from a world title opportunity. So what he's doing now is what he's always done during his career, is try and get fast-tracked to that opportunity. The only difference is this time, it won't work, because there are more sharks in the water this time around. When he was a WBC World Champion, he won it from Bermane Stiverne. Bermane Stiverne would never be able to be World Champion in this current stage of the heavyweight division, with fighters like Andy Ruiz, Joseph Parker, Michael Hunter, Oscar Rivas, Dillian White. Those kind of fighters sitting just outside of the champions, waiting for their opportunities. Those kind of fighters would be too much for someone like Bermane Stiverne. They are levels above him. So that is why Bermane Stiverne would not have been a world champion at this current stage of the heavyweight division. So Wilder would be fighting someone like Michael Hunter, Alexander Usyk maybe, those kind of fights. and that is going to be a lot more difficult than the route Deontay Wilder had last time to the WBC World Championship. So what he's trying to do is get fast-tracked to the big time. But there is one glaring flaw in Deontay Wilder's plan, and that is, if he wants to fight Tyson Fury, then why didn't he? He can get that fight, but will he actually take it? Does he want the Tyson Fury rematch? Because if he did, why did the fight not happen? AJ's fighting, Dillian Whyte fought Alexander Povetkin and will rematch him. Big fights are happening, Chisora Usyk. Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko. The big fights are going ahead. So why didn't this one? You have to wonder if someone behind the scenes didn't want it. So yes, he can scream and shout and say that he wants that rematch with Tyson Fury, but the problem is he had that rematch and he did not act upon it the first time around. So what makes him think, or his fans think, that he will do anything different the second time? So after that fight was cancelled, after Tyson Fury had enough and said that nope, he's going to move on, he's fed up of waiting for this trilogy fight, Wilder was in a very unique position. He was in a position where he's in that club of who needs him. Who needs to fight him? Who wants to fight him? No one really, because they don't get much credit for beating him, considering he's coming off of a loss where he got a beatdown from Tyson Fury. And ultimately, he is dangerous. He has that big right hand. So what does anyone gain from fighting him? They're not going to get big bucks from fighting him either, because Deontay Wilder is not a pay-per-view fighter without someone like Tyson Fury. So he found himself in that who needs him club, and there was all of these conspiracy theories floating around that were created by his fans, and what he's done is latched onto them to get his name back out there, because before that he was in no man's land, because he just lost that Tyson Fury fight, so he didn't have a fight lined up for the World Heavyweight Championship. Also, people have just seen him turn down that opportunity, so how does he get around that? Everyone has seen he's decided not to take a rematch with Tyson Fury, or whatever happened behind the scenes. But as I said, if the fighter wants to fight, the fight happens. So you have to wonder if there is a glaring fault behind the scenes with Team Wilder. But you cannot take a loss like that, make ridiculous excuses, then refuse to get back into the ring with him, because then you lose all credibility. So what does Wilder have to lose by latching on to these conspiracy theories? Nothing, because he was seen as the guy with no credibility anyway for not taking the rematch with Tyson Fury. So saying that these conspiracy theories are true isn't really going to worsen the situation for Wilder, or at least I believe that is what he thought. So guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think Deontay Wilder really agrees with what he is saying, or do you believe he's just using it to get the media coverage? Guys, drop your thoughts on this in the comments below, leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.